and that's on the air. I don't care.
Bring a commander out. Okay.
Get across the street. Across the street.
Call news affairs.
I don't care about news affairs. News affairs.
Well,
let's go across the street.
Get the sergeant for news
affairs. I don't care about news affairs. Forget news affairs.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you all now you got to go across the street. I'm giving you a lawful order to get across the street. And that's all I'm going to say.
Officer, we're not trying.
Your First Amendment right can be terminated if you create a scene or whatever.
All right, you heard the legality from an officer who was sworn in and took an oath to violate First Amendment rights if, and I quote, you create a scene or whatever.
Your First Amendment right got limitations. If you
want to create a scene, how are we creating a scene? We haven't created a scene.
Your president created a scene.
Our presence is creating a scene. This is what we do for a living.
Squad, I got a couple cars in. The lieutenant said we had to lock them up. I ain't got no problem.
What many may not know is this officer is confronting NBC reporters and threatening them with arrest.
I don't care about no damn lawsuit. Just because you suit on me, you're going to win. Get your cuffs out. Is it worth going? And you the first.
No, I'm not. You guys ain't done anything. Come on.
Come on, I actually go across the street. Come on now.
Come on, he hasn't done anything.
Which, then, this officer does. Because violating the rights of the press is just what he wants to do. And look at all those supposed good cops just standing on by and watching it go down.
Hey, back up! What are y'all doing? Back up! Back up! What are y'all doing? He didn't do anything. You're in the middle of the street. He did not do anything. Let's go.
I told you to leave, you didn't leave.
We weren't sure. We weren't even videotaping anything. Hold on. My hands.
What, your camera?
Hey, Jackie, they're arresting Dante. They're arresting media over here at the hospital. Yes, they're arresting Dante down with the camera. Yeah, they arrested Ponce, they're arresting Dante. Get her now. Or she's probably on the phone with Christian. Well, let him know. What?
They arrested the media on a public sidewalk because this incompetent policeman had to go on a power trip. We are continually given example after example of why defunding is necessary. If we do not, this example of where there is many will remain the status quo. Now, the newsmen were released, but the officer demands their information. Absolutely ludicrous behavior from those abusing their role as a public servant. According to the description of the original video, it links to Officer Orson Ward, who is still working as a policeman. CPDP.co claims there are 26 allegations against him, with Ward reportedly being in the 67th percentile when it comes to use of force and the 87th percentile under the category of civilian allegations.
I'm sorry?
You're under arrest.
Okay. Do you mind telling me why I'm under arrest, sir? Why am I under arrest, sir?
Officer is with CNN and he's on the air right now.
Okay.
You are arresting him live on CNN. We told you before that we are with CNN.
The cops just do not care, as CNN's Omar Jimenez was arrested when reporting on the ground in Minneapolis.
We were just out here reporting the closure of the streets. Omar was just arrested. I believe we're all about to be arrested. That's our producer.
Our CNN producer is being...
I'm probably going to be taken in a minute.
Our CNN camera crew and our producer are being arrested right now on live television in handcuffs.
I've never seen anything like this.
Along with his producers and other folks who work for a news organization.
Okay. I'm being arrested now. Can I put the camera down?
If you're just tuning in, this is our camera crew, our CNN camera crew, being arrested by the Minneapolis State Police. We believe the camera is now on the ground because our cameraman has been handcuffed. Our correspondent, Omar Jimenez, was also led away in handcuffs, as was his producer.
One photographer and one WGN reporter were detained as they attempted to cover the story of a 6-year-old girl who was. Crews were standing on the sidewalk outside Mount Sinai Hospital where the girl had been taken. The hospital apparently called police complaining of trespassers. The news crews, at the request of police officers, said they had already moved from a public sidewalk directly in front of the hospital to a median halfway across the street. I went over to the hospital with community activist Andrew Holmes and went up to the front door of the hospital. Family members were there, and they were obviously upset, said NBC Chicago reporter Christian Farr. I stared right at security guards who stared right at me and never said anything to me. I never went into the hospital. Police held the WGN pair for about 10 minutes. The officer who handcuffed them is recorded on camera warning members of the media that their First Amendment rights could be terminated. When asked how they were creating a scene, the officer said, "Your presence is creating a scene." The two were released without any charges.